Alright, this is page 3, and it's problem number 4. So it says Jonathan's parents told him for every 5 hours of homework or reading, he would be able to play 3 hours of video games, like my child is in this room right now next to me. Hey kid, you're lucky I'm not videoing you right now. So his friend Lucas's parents told their son he could play 30 minutes for every hour of homework or reading he completes. If both boys spend the same amount of time on homework and reading this week, which boy gets more time playing video games? How do you know? So I'm thinking we should like kind of label this. We got Jonathan, I'm going to use a J there. And then, who's the other kid? Lucas. So Jonathan, it says for every 5 hours homework, I'm just going to clump homework and reading together into homework, he gets 3 hours of games. 3 hours games. And then for Lucas, they said he could play 30 minutes for every hour of homework or reading. So I got to make sure that I get the setup right here, because over here I have the homework and the games here. So homework needs to go on top. So look in here for every hour. That would be like 1 hour. So I'm going to put that on top. 1 hour homework. He would get 30 minutes of playtime. So that would be his games. 30 minutes games. Alright, so I'm just kind of comparing here. It says if the boys spend the same amount of time on homework and reading, you can tell they don't spend the same time on homework and reading. Jonathan's spending 5 hours, and Lucas, we have him at an hour. So, I mean, stop and think how you could turn that hour into the same amount that Jonathan has. I'm thinking we could just go times 5, which would give him 5 hours of homework. But then we've got to take his 30 minutes and multiply that by 5 as well, which would be 150 minutes. So looking at this, we've got Jonathan gets 3 hours of games, and I'm thinking of 3 hours. 3 hours is like 180 minutes. It's 3 times 60. And Lucas over here is getting 150 minutes on games. So it says if both boys spend the same amount of time on homework and reading, which boy gets more time playing games? It looks like it's going to be Jonathan. I'm just calling him John. John gets more time on games because he'd get 30 more minutes if they had 5 hours homework each. That's just one way to explain it. There's tons of others. Some kids did other things. You know, figured out a unit rate, something like that. So this is just one way that you could complete this problem.